So my name's Gemma and I'm a CBT therapist with the Baines Talking Therapies team. The main causes of stress, I think a lot of that is life. There's lots of life stresses. I think being a grown-up in today's world is really stressful. So I think people stress about family, about their health, about money and finances, about employment, about the state of the world. I think anything that someone rates as important to them has the potential to be stressful. A really good analogy for stress is thinking of a stress as, or a capacity for stress as in a beaker, and so you always have a level of stress in your beaker, and sometimes that's being managed. It's when you experience additional stresses on top of that, I think, that the stress overflows, and then that's maybe when it starts to have a real impact on our mental health. So tips to deal with your mental health. So in terms of what you can do about difficulties with stress, so if we're thinking back to the stress beaker, if you've got stresses coming in, if you think then maybe about putting a tap on the bottom of that beaker, and that tap might be all the things that you can do that might be stress relieving. Sometimes things like looking after your diet, so eating well, eating regularly, having breakfast. These can be things that manage your stress. Being active is another way to help manage your stress and your well-being. Again, that doesn't need to be full-on exercise, but getting out and going for a walk. You can do that at the same time as being connected to others. Things that can help to keep that tap open, because if you've got stresses going in, but you can keep the tap open with things that are helpful, things that bring you a sense of pleasure or maybe a sense of enjoyment, then it helps to keep the level of the stress in your beaker at an even level. During Stress Awareness Month, there's lots of resources and places that you can go to get help with your stress. So one of the first places is with your family and your friends. While at work, there's your colleagues or your line managers, definitely someone to speak to. There are also wellbeing organisations that are available, and a number of those have maybe wellbeing helplines that are available. So Mind, they have an evening telephone support line that's available. There's your local talking therapy service. And then there's always your GP. You can speak to your GP, and they can also maybe signpost to other areas that might be helpful. So one of the key things that you can do during Stress Awareness Month is to look after yourself. Actually, it's really important just to take some time out, and that doesn't have to be enormous. Sometimes going and having a bath, sometimes having half an hour out on your own to read a book can be really helpful. Sometimes getting that balance between what you do for you and what you do for everybody else, and making sure that you save a bit of yourself for you.